or if we just want to do the hardwood flooring. And I was like, well, if we don't do the hardwood flooring, this is going to be the only room in the house that's not going to have it. So I said, well, let's just go on and do it. I did this room a little, what they call backwards, I guess. I did some painting. I hung the sheet. This had red paneling in it. I took the paneling down. Now this wall here, or the ceiling, whatever you want to call it, this was not paneling. That was sheetrock. But this wall, then this wall, right? And then around this stuff was all paneling, okay? Now you can still see some of the paneling because I didn't take this built-in out, but it's still paneling in here. We just painted it white. I didn't want to take that apart and start another problem, but we took the sheetrock down and I sheetrocked it. Should I pay the professional? Maybe. I don't know. It looks pretty good with this Benjamin Moore. This is sidewalk gray, cement gray Benjamin Moore. It's kind of got a purple tint to it, so the girls will love it. Now, where was I at? Talking about the door casing? Oh, the paneling. So I had to take I took all the paneling down. And when I took the paneling down, this had 15 amp wire in it. So I was just like, it had new wire, but I just went on and tore it out anyway, because I'm a firm believer of a 20 amp receptacle, even though a lot of people would say, you don't need it. Well, see all this work I'm doing in here? If this was on a 15 amp and I run a couple things, then it's going to trip the brake. It's just going to be a nuisance while you're working. So it's just better just go and put the 20 amp in and be done with it. And I did do 14.2 on the lights. So in here, I could not get above this ceiling, so I had to fish, wires across with some fish tape. But we did get 4 containers in, 4 light fixtures, and then 4 flush LED trims. This is the air vent, obviously pretty disgusting. It was a round vent that was laying on the step in there. I don't know if you saw it, but that vent was very, very nasty. So one of the things I probably should have took down before we painted the ceiling. Yes. So I got to do it now. Now, another friend of mine, actually a family member, said, what is this, the movie room with all these receptacles? I am a big fan of receptacles because a lot of places do not ever have enough. I did not put any receptacles on this wall here, but yes, I did put receptacles all along, and quads at that. Now, again, we got some up high for TVs. We weren't sure if we were going to be able, we'd rather have the TV on this wall here, but at the time we were not sure if we'd be able to get the TV on this wall here. So I started over here and I went on and just put stuff up high. Now we have twin girls, so the twins will both be in this room to start off with. So depending on how we lay the beds and stuff out, it'll, the TVs will kind of work all over, wherever we need them to work. So just different options, you can always put a picture over the receptacles. I did put crown molding up in here too. Another thing that my uncle said probably wasn't, wouldn't have messed with, but the sheetrock, you'd had to finish the corners real good. Now I did tape and mud them, but I was just like, man, it's a whole lot easier for me to just slap some crown molding up here. I already got it. And I don't have to worry about sanding that joint, taping that joint real good, because every little thing you're gonna see. All right. Now we decided that it looked the best with the crown running all the way to the wall and then just turning the base cap down. We tried turning the crown and putting a 45 back on the crown and having it just stand out. It looked okay, but it didn't look as good as that. And then we tried running the base cap all the way to the wall, and this is just what it looked the best, so we went with that. The door here, I knocked an access through the wall because all the wires run through the ceiling and then come around and then they come down in here, all the brand new wires. So they're down behind this wall here, and then you can see in this hole, I had to cut this flooring open a little bit because my panel's directly below that. So I wanted to be able to, if I ever need to add something back there, because we're thinking about running some Cat 7 data cable in all the rooms. So if I do it, I'll probably put it in the laundry room, which is down below here. If you ever need to get back there for anything, wires or whatever, just went on and bought a new door. The door was pretty expensive for that size door. It was like 200 bucks, but it looked better than my little sheetrock thing I had made, so it works. So again, kind of little access. Not really going to be able to store stuff back there, but you know, it's just back there for if I ever need to get back there. I am going to hang some lights back there for if I need to work. The window here, still got to trim that out. Okay. This door casing, I have finished this door casing. You know, we got to paint it again, but this is the newer style door casing, which doesn't have that chamfer. This is more of a round edge here. All right, and then I got my back band or back end. I'm not sure what they call it, but that's on the back of it to kind of give it that wide look. Okay, so closets are finished, and Forever Princess for my little two princesses. All right, we got to do the casing around here and the flooring. So I think that's about everything that we've done so far upstairs. Oh, one more second. I know the video's kind of said it'd be quick, but it's kind of running kind of long. Ran 1810 thermostat wire from here all the way to the air handler, which was not that hard. Then I had to run this. There's a chase actually in this wall here behind this. So we had to fish the wire, the refrigerant lines, because we're going from R22 to 410A. So we had to fish replace the lines. I did not want to put the lines on the outside of the house like you see in a lot of upstairs old remodels. So we replaced the line set. Good reason we did, because the old line set was probably there from the first unit they put in. It was like 1.1/8 suction line, and then like almost a 1/2 inch for the discharge line. So really way too big for, you know, the aspect of using it for a homeowner residential setting. It probably worked back in the day, but now with the units being so funky, you know, they want specific. So we did go with the Champion. The Champion is a Johnson Controls unit. I have had a lot of good luck putting these in. So this is the Champion here. We went with the 10 kW strip. As you can see, I put lights down here so we can work and see while we were up here working, changing all the wires out. Now, I have not finished tidying things up. You know, I kind of got some temporary stuff, but I will get it fixed. All the old ductwork, I thought about replacing it, but it has dampers in it. It's all metal. It's not too dirty on the inside. And when I say not too dirty, I mean, you would think a system this old would have a lot of dust in it. The system is actually really, really good as far as the duct system. So what I will be doing is I will be cutting off all the insulation and then using a mastic tape on all the seams and then rewrapping the actual ductwork with brand new ductwork. Okay, I had one of my local HVAC contractors that I use when I need some ductwork, because I'm just set up for more service work. I had him make me some transition connections. Hopefully that stuff works out really well. I think it will. He made me a box for my return here. I did have to change the coil around, because the coil was initially the drain was up here with it facing me. Now I obviously could have turned the unit over, but then I'd have had to crawl over the unit every time if something happens and you got to get to it. So I did flip that over. That's some of my new 3/8 and 3/4 suction line. It is one piece from here to under the house. We had to put a joint in it under the house because it was over 50 feet. Now you can kind of see that it kind of looped up like a rainbow there. I knew it may not look the best, but this stuff really kinks really easy, and you do not want to have a kink in your line set. I am going to try to strap it up some more. You can kind of see where I run my thermostat wire down, and the bottom one going to the thermostat, I've got it over here. You know, I didn't see bringing it back and bringing it back up. Disconnect, we got it solid mounted a little better. It was just kind of dangling on one of these things, so I turned it sideways so we'd have a better surface mount. Again, the Champion, this will end up being an 18 SEER. The condensing unit is a 2-ton, and it has an inverter. So the inverter modulates the compressor to where the compressor will run at different speeds. All right, so I hope everyone enjoys, especially the ones that were here and saw how the house was. Not that the house was ever in bad shape. The house was totally move-in ready when we bought it. It's just we wanted to get rid of, we wanted to update it and get rid of all the old stuff, all the outdated stuff, you know. So I hope everyone enjoyed the video, and I will bring you back through once we finally get everything finished up, so you can kind of see it once it's clean and not so strode. All right, have a good one.